Hey everyone, this is Joey up here, and welcome to another episode of Forge in Fire. Now, this evening, I have two very special guests from the IT world, and they're going to talk to us about digitization. And I think this is extremely important, especially in my point of view, for the current situation that the whole world is facing right now. As you know, almost all the countries around the world right now are in some form of a lockdown, and this concept of work from home has become the new norm. Now, if any one of us are expecting that the world will just, after this whole thing will just magically go back to normal, I think they need to go and see a doctor, because the new norm is that right now we are going to move into an era where if you are ahead of the game, or if you understand the game, digitization would lead you, ahead of the competition. So that's why I want to invite my guest today to be part of this talk. And also, if you were in yesterday's talk, I have invited my school friends as part of my show for Forge in Fire. And these two gentlemen are also part of my school friends. The difference is they are my high school friends, and the previous day they were my 36 years friends. So you're going to see something really interesting here because these two have moved on to the IT world. Okay, so and they have founded this company at the same time that I have started my career in metaphysics. It's actually in the same year. And they have founded this company called Glocomp Systems, and they are one of the most successful privately owned ICT companies here in Asia. And they have obviously I've been in this business for 20 plus years, so they are in their business for 20 plus years. And if for me, if there's anything you want to do with digital transformation, these are the go-to guys to talk to. Okay, so they are the ICT solution provider, right? They computing and information management, IP communication, security and privacy, AT, automation, you name it, they've got it. Okay, so if you guys want to know how you can take your business into this digital platform, these are the guys to talk to. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my good friends, Mr. Alex Liew and Mr. Joseph Giam. Hey buddies, how are you, man?
Hey, hi bro, how are you?
Wow, good to see you guys. And I noticed you guys are wearing your company t-shirt. Show the logo to me.
That is,
Are you promoting CIMB or you're promoting Glocomp? Is that the
yeah.
CIMB logo? I'm saying, all right, he can come one side.
Okay, now to the left, right?
Right. Okay, guys. So, first of all, thanks for logging in yesterday. We had a lot of fun with Kokit and Zihon. They came up here and we were having a great time talking about our school days. So just before I go on to our main subject, which is about digitization, I just want everyone here to know that I've known Alex and Giam for, I don't know, how many years? 20, at least 20, how many? 20, 30 years, right? 1990? I don't know. Is that long?
Yeah, back in 1990, yeah. Actually, time flies, right? It didn't felt like so long, right?
we still look really young, right?
Of course, definitely.
Now, you guys started your first store, I remember, in what was that place? Is it what complex?
Pertama
Complex.
Yes.
Right? That was the time you had. It was in Giam's uncle's store, right? It's like half of the store is selling jeans. Is that right?
Yep, that's right.
Right.
The Pertama complex.
I think you're using the wrong mic, Giam. Your microphone is not attached to yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Right. So yeah, actually we first started, right, initially working from home, right?
Yeah.
Right. We remotely, where we are today, right? 20 over years later, right? We started selling from home, remotely. Then slowly, we have a retail space, right? Where we started with just one counter. I think it's about 3 feet counter. Then eventually, I think when you visited us, right, it was a little expanded already.
I think we went one big circle. Now we're all working from home again. You guys are working from
yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And I thought that this is a great opportunity for me. And I've never done an interview with my friends before. And because right now we are all in a digital platform. And so I think it's, and you guys are in the forefront of this entire movement. So why don't you explain to, people here, what is the meaning of digitization?
So digitization, as the name explained by itself. Before
Right.
that, before this, right, this word is often associated with computerization. So that means
Okay.
you computerize something, right?
Uh-huh.
And now the modern world, they use digitization. So it's
Okay.
basically nothing than just throwing your pen and your papers away,
Hmm.
recording every information that is there in the business.
Right.
And most important of all, after you have recorded it,
Hmm.
you need to be able to retrieve it. Yeah.
Right. So, and you think if businesses don't transit to digitization right now, I especially in this world pandemic that is just happening, and they don't transit it, I think they're probably losing out on big scale here right now, right? For traditional businesses, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You see, right now, right, while everyone is working, even right now, what we're doing now, right, we're having an interview with you, right,
Yeah.
through digital forms, right? And if anyone who are still in the very manual way of doing business, right, and
Mm.
with MCO, can't go to office, you can't make payments, right? You can't track, your transactions. You can't do business. Yeah, basically you can't do everything, right? You are basically pretty stuck.
Right. I think, as digital transformation really means different things to today's business leaders. And I feel that especially the young and upcoming, they probably just think that digitization is social media, something on Facebook and something on Instagram. Is that what it means in a real digital transformation world?
Oh, it's certainly more than that. Okay, you see, if in any business you have people, you have process, you have policy, and then you have physical security, right? All these things you put together, you create product, and you deliver the product. So in the digital world, basically the first thing you have is technology.
Right.
Technology gives you intelligence, and
Hmm.
technology also gives you automation.
Right.
So it's not just a tool for you to chat. I still remember back then when we first started the company,
Hmm.
and I'm sure our parents will ask us, "Hey, why do you get into IT?"
Yeah.
So we say, "Oh, IT is good," but one of the reasons because maybe when we're playing games, then we can tell
Right.
our parents that, "Oh, we're actually working," right? So
Okay.
yeah, especially the millionaires today, right? They spend
Right.
about 30 hours on the video games every week, right?
Right.
So the whole thing about digital transformation is not just getting your information, not just getting your tools, not just
Okay.
getting your people using the computer. It's more of having a collaboration that is borderless,
Hmm.
having processes that can be manned by system, having
Hmm.
policy that can be governed by system, and
Hmm.
most important of all, enable you to transact, to interact, and to keep in touch with your customers. So at the end of the day, it's all about customer.
Right. So the thing is, I think for younger people right now, what I feel in this current economy is that um, a lot of the younger generation is moving towards this freelance type of economy, especially now with the new pandemic, the pandemic thing that is happening around the world. The A lot of them want to do freelance work, and they want to be able to work at their own free time, and they want to have the freedom, be able to connect
Right.
with people and sell their services. I think more so they need to be able to deliver their services, deliver their goods on the digital platform, right? And if they fail to do that, I think in this coming century, probably they would be a major setback, right? What do you think about this?
Yeah, I think precisely. You just look into examples, right, of what we're going through during MCO now, right?
Mm.
Now, a very good example. Initially, a Cameron Highlands, right? We have got vegetables and all this fresh produce, right, going down the drain because they couldn't ship it out and they have no platform, right, to transact and to connect digitally, right, which is the way everyone is doing shopping right now, right? You can't go out, right? You can just order, right?
Right.
And yeah, so then, you know, when Lazada came in, when Shopee came in, and all these platform, right? So then they began to ship vegetables and things like that out of Cameron Highlands. And I
Right.
think one very good example that I read, right? There was this restaurant, right, whereby now during MCO now, that is so tough for their business. But then, you know, when they realized that they have got the sources to fresh produce, right, they made use of this and they turn it online, right? Then they started selling, right? They started collecting order online and selling all this. So it's a very good example of, you know, how digital transformation, a part of it is helping.
Right, but what are the usual barriers for people to block them to actually making this step to digitize their business? Because I think a lot of freelancers right now, or people with selling their services, they don't know how to do it. So what is the usual barriers? Do they need a lot of money to make that transformation?
No, not exactly. You see, depending on the size of the company, if you're running a company of 20 to 30, 20 to 50 people, most SME do, you probably need to just set aside a budget about 1,000 ringgit a year
Okay.
for
Okay.
each of the employee in order
Mm.
for you to embark into the digital transformation journey. Yeah.
Okay. And but how do they do that? With what do they? How do they make that transformation? Do they need to subscribe to a service? Do they need to get someone in?
So there's a four very important thing that in any computerization, digitization, or even digital transformation, the first thing, of course, you need to have is a computer, right? Then you
Yeah.
need to have a software application.
Yeah.
And third thing you need to have very good connectivity. Because today,
Okay.
if you are not connected, don't talk about digitization. It is only you yourself, right? And the fourth
Right.
thing is, of course, cybersecurity.
Okay. So
So
before we even talk about security, right? You have people um like you said, like selling vegetables, for example, right? How do I sell vegetables online?
Well, you see, you look into transformation, right? Digital transformation, right? There's actually a very different process for different organizations, right? So, for example, vegetables, right? All you
Hmm.
need is a online platform, right? That
Okay.
has got all these ways to help you market, right? To reach out to the consumers, right? And also an engine that can help you to process your orders, or better still, if they can do delivery like Lazada or Shopee.
So they can do it all by themselves. A business can actually incorporate this for themselves.
Well, basically, it is a mixture of by going digital yourself, and also you need a digital business platform, right?
Tell me
That is
about
available in the market today. Yeah.
right. So tell me about these platforms they can choose.
so
What are these
in,
platforms?
in any of the, just now we're talking about digital transformation, and the focus is always about customer, right? So
Yeah.
of course, you have a back end in any business and you have a front end. So the back end
Yeah.
is basically your ERPs and your stuff like that. So first of all, you must sort out your back end, right? So
Okay.
once your back end are digitized,
Right.
computerized, in other
Right.
words, then you move to the front end. So the
Is,
front
is
end
it is it is it too late to make this change now for a lot of people who are already in MCO?
no, a lot of applications and services today are offered online over the cloud. All you
Right.
need is to have a computer, like
Right.
the things I mentioned to you just now, the computer.
Right.
You need to get the right software from the cloud, okay, or from the
Right.
internet. Then you
Right.
need to have very good connectivity.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is all businesses able to digitize? That's the main question here. Because I mean, selling vegetables, you sort it out with Lazada and stuff like that, lah. But what if I tell you is a dentist?
Mhm.
Then how to
So
solve?
yeah, basically, right, in general, right, in my opinion, um, digital transformation, right, is actually, you know, people have to believe that it is an investment and it's not a cost, right?
Okay.
When people think that it is a cost, right, then, you know, it's not something that you will profit out of it. But if you turn the whole concept, right, and look into it as an investment to grow your business, right,
Right.
as a new customer experience, a new different user experience, right, to reach out and to make things easier, right, more reachable for the customers, then things will be very different. And for
Okay.
bigger organization, right, it needs to be a religion, or and a culture as well, right? You know, there are companies that has been existing for a very long time now, right? And to move new things, most of the time it is very difficult, right, to adapt to, and also for people to believe in. So
Right.
yeah, this is a very important key thing.
So they need to change the culture first, like, to basically treat it as an investment. But some of them, I think, may not have the idea. Now, this question, it comes from one of our guests, one of our listeners today. Industries like law firm, interior design, and meditation like spa. I don't know if you meditate in the spa, but okay, any suggestion how to digitize?
Yeah, of course you can. It's just a matter of, okay, see, when human, right, when people create product and services, so part of the digitization journey is how do you move your product and your services into a digital manner, or being delivered in a digital way. So like
Okay.
law firm, it's you can have consultation over online tools. Okay, you can have your meetings with your clients over any of the web conferencing tools. For interior designer, you definitely need to digitize, because gone are the days where you use pencil and paper to to design, right? You use a lot of computer aided design for you to come up with certain things that are much better and than what the conventional way of doing it. Okay,
Okay.
spa. Okay, spa.
Spa
It's
is an experience, I don't know how you're going to do. I think if you can sort this out, everyone will just go to you for digital transformation. How do you do the spa thing? Yeah.
Yeah, but if you ask me, right, the spa thing, right, the user experience is not so much of having spa digitally, right, but it's more of like an experience of booking, right? How do you do booking? How do you go through the hassle of no waiting, right?
Yeah.
Example, right?
Right.
So yeah, and how do we have a queue system, right, so that everyone save more time and things become more precise.
Right. So basically, they just make it more efficient to get to the spa, or get things, collect their data, and support the entire journey, lah. Right.
Yeah, precisely.
Okay. But I don't know. Right now, there are some industries in the world that are generally suffering. Right. A lot of them are suffering. But a lot also make money, lah. Such as, I
Right.
mean, you guys are in digital, so you obviously are okay. But tourism, for example, right? How can they incorporate this to actually help their, right now their whole business is like, I think it's going to be stuck for at least another 6 months. So, what could they do? Right now, they should invest in digitization, but in what aspects?
Oh, tourism, for example, you can see Greece.
Right.
Greece have created some really cool virtual reality where you
Oh,
can go,
is it?
you can go online and you can experience how Greece actually looks like.
All right.
Santorini actually looks like, but of course you can't feel it. You can still look at it, and maybe after the MCO or the lockdown, then they
Mhm.
offer packages where you can actually visit the real place. So
Right.
yeah, so there is an element that definitely you can offer
Right.
over the internet. Right?
And do you think this can help the medical field as well to help basically soften or maybe quicken the cure to this pandemic in some ways? Because I heard in China they tag everybody, right? They tag everybody, and then
Right.
right, to basically make sure that to make sure that they are healthy. I don't know, but put some color code on somebody. Is that how it works? But here we don't
Well,
have it here in Malaysia.
yeah. So I think in terms of healthcare, right? First of all, the digital stuffs, right, can actually help you in terms of you measure temperatures, example, right?
Right.
When you have a group of people, 50, 100, right? Like example, when we pass through immigration, right, how do we know who is having fever, who is not? Right, that's a part of digitalization. And
Right.
on top of that, right, just look into the occupancy of private hospitals today, right?
Yeah.
Everyone is not going to hospitals, right? But then, we still have some people who have got some issues, some other issues, right? And then they stay at home. So things like telemedicine, right, would definitely help the industry and also help the patients tremendously.
Right. This is interesting. Right. So what is this? Vincent is talking about both legal ID shares similar digital transformation solutions. I'm not sure about this. Is it true? Legal departments. All right, let's look at this. This is from our friend. Can you give some examples of companies that Glocomp has helped with digitization? This is a great question.
Well, there are a lot of companies that we have helped in a way or another, right? In the journey of digital transformation.
Okay.
So we have a lot of solutions that provides good connectivity. Okay. In the entire journey, connectivity, we realize today is one of the key factor if your digital transformation is successful or not. So and and to a lot of people, they think internet it's an entertainment platform, but that is probably 25 years or 30 years ago, or more than 30 years ago. But today, internet is a platform where you do business. Okay, it's a platform where you communicate and when you collaborate. And most important, all internet is a platform where you gather a lot of information, useful information, right, for your businesses.
Right.
So, yeah, our number one product, it's IP communication, right, which is connectivity, enabling connectivity.
Right.
We have probably close to about 200 to 300 new clients a year. A way or another, we actually help them a lot in terms of these solution set, and not forgetting also in the area of computing and information management.
Right. So do you think, all right, let's just talk about my business, which is basically just doing teaching. What else would you recommend me to do to bring my business into a digital transformation in the new era? Because I want to stay ahead of the game. What would you suggest?
Well, you already did so much, right? You did Rise, right? Where you have what, like 1,300 participants all over 30 countries.
I want a next level. I want a next level. I always believe in moving so far that that we don't even have to think about competition, because the way to stay ahead of the game is to be ahead, right? It's not to try to play catch up to anybody. So I would always I would like the next step, right? So
actually, I guess your business probably, in terms of front end and reaching out and customer experience, right? You are doing a lot ahead, right? Probably some of the things you may want to look into, right, is your back end, right? The informations that you have, those things, those data that you already digitize, right? Do you want to do some big data analytics all out of it, right? To give you some form of efficiency, right? To give you some form of prediction of the learning behaviors, example.
That's good. Yeah, that's good suggestion. Yeah. Actually, there's a back end. We're not doing much. We're only like I have like I don't even know it's called digital transformation until you told me it is. I just basically there's a new feature, so I'm just using it. And so if I think understanding customer behaviors, buying patterns is something I think you guys are probably able to do for the back end. And I think that will help a lot in terms of understanding which products they actually like more and how they buy and why they buy.
Right. So I like to explain. I'd like to explain a bit more. Right. That technology is just an enabler. Right. So it all depends on use cases and how do you want to apply it. Right. With the data that has been digitized. Right. How do you want to make sense out of it and monetize more of the whatever that you have.
Right. Okay. That's interesting, because obviously only entrepreneurs and people who are more of an achiever would want to move forward with this. But I think it's a lot to do with the business owner, isn't it? Because if the business owner culturally, mentally, they don't see this as an investment, then really you can talk to them all day and they probably not see that this is important. Have you met people like this?
Oh, yes. I think mindset and mentality is very, very important, because that basically transforms your belief, right? If you don't believe in internet, there's no way you can help yourself in digital transformation.
All right, and I think this is very for me is very important because I want to. My goal has always been able to reach more people. I want my message to reach the all corners of the world and all that. So And of course, digitization is not a conscious thing that I'm doing, but now listening to you guys, it becomes more conscious that I'm putting everything into this whole idea of looking at both front end and back end, right? So and of course, you guys have the expertise to actually do the back end. Which one are you better, the front end or the back end?
Actually, both.
Both one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are pretty all rounder. It's not just front and back.
All right. I don't know if you're behind. No. Okay. Right. Zion is asking this, with all this digital transfer in place, how does Glocomp handle cyber security aspect of it? Yeah, this is a great question. It's just dawned to me that recently I was a bit afraid of the Zoom security issue. Because I mean, thankfully nobody hacked into one of my seminars. Probably it's not that interesting for them to hack into and flash their balls lah. So, but well, you never know, right? You never know.
Right.
So how does this cybersecurity thing work in your view? And how do you do the protection?
So see, technology and business, right? And
Yeah.
user. Okay, why businesses doesn't want to get into technology or doesn't want to go to internet? Because sometimes maybe they're afraid. They're afraid of being hacked. They're afraid their information is stolen, and they're afraid of everything. So
Right.
cybersecurity is really the glue, no, the gel that gels business and technology together. So if
Okay.
you don't have cybersecurity, a lot of the good stuff that we're doing today, including this session,
Yeah.
there may not be any user because they're
Right.
afraid the system has been compromised.
So what happened in Zoom? How did they hack into Zoom? Is there I don't know. I mean, from the cybersecurity point of view, do you know what they do? I don't even know what
Yeah.
other than someone flashing something. Did they steal anything?
Basically, right,
Yeah.
one of the most common thing here is that when we send out invites, right, there's a link that we invite,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
so some of these links, right, are being captured, right, and some of scripts are being written, onto the links, and when you click on the links, right, then you basically open up yourself, right, for breach. And if you look into the cybersecurity practices, right, first of all, anything that is, we have to make sure for whatever that we click, it is from a source that is trustable,
Right.
right? We don't get anything in public and just click on it, right? There's so much of all this so-called phishing out there, right? Whereby, once the agent is planted on a malware is planted on your machine or things like that, right? Whatever is so scary, right? Whatever that you type on your screen will be visible on the other end, right? Imagine when you're doing transactions, you're doing you're keying in your passwords and log in for your CRM system example, right? So then, yeah, all these are actually very scary.
Right. Now, amongst all these platforms, I don't know if you are particularly closer to whichever platform. What do you recommend for people to use to connect with people? Do you use WebEx, or do you do Zoom, or do you I don't know which one is your go-to system? They even go to a webinar, and there's a webinar Giam. I mean, that's important for me, lah. So I'm asking my perspective. I'm just like using whatever is available, lah. What do you think? Is there a specific thing we should look into such platforms?
Yeah, of course. Depending on your specific needs, right? If you just want to discuss about a topic, 4% or even 3%, you can always just use WhatsApp, right? That's the fastest way,
WhatsApp is the fastest,
yeah. Then you can communicate with each other. So if you want something that's more organized, you have slides to share, so you have your content to share, then tools like WebEx. WebEx is heavily used in Glocomp, as well as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and there are actually quite a number of them that does the work really well.
Right. So, but is Microsoft Teams safer? Like June is June is asking.
Okay.
Now there is sorry.
Alex.
Actually, there's no silver lining, right? There's no 100% proof safe, right, in whatever that we use, right? So actually, in fact, right before we went online, right, there was a message being shared in a cybersecurity user group, right, that Microsoft Teams, right, actually has a vulnerability that a GIF file. GIF is a picture file, right, that can steal the credentials and login information of Microsoft Teams of an organization. but it was fixed on the it was fixed on the 20th of March, right? Example. So I guess the most important thing, right, is that for even Zoom, they fixed their issues already, right? The most important thing is for us to catch and update, the latest version of whatever that has been used, because all these are improved version, where they fix the known problems from the users.
Right. Okay, this is another question quite interesting from Sandy. He's asking when you guys going for listing. I think it's a nice question. You guys are doing really well.
You will be the first that we will share this information if we have the plan.
Right. Okay. I think this is an important question, I believe, because everyone looks forward to something exciting and something good, right? So now we know about all this digital platform, right? And what are the usual investments that people need to make? Besides, you said $1,000 can get them started, but what can $1,000 buy them? A phone? Can't even buy a phone, right?
Okay. So computer is a given thing, right? So anyone without a computer or a smartphone does not belong to this earth. All right, it probably belongs somewhere, right? So that is given. So of course you can't buy, a computer with 1,000 ringgit. Maybe the computer without a screen. So the computer is given. So the 1,000 ringgit will give you the collaboration tools that you require. Will give you your messaging system, your email system. Can also give you your backend ERP. Can also give you a corporate calendaring. And a set of tools where you can actually use for automation as well. So like your back office and your front office tools. So if you want to know what software exactly that you need, all right, either you can speak to our consultant or self-service.
So it's different for different people. Different. Because there's like so many different types of businesses that can be digitized or can turn into this era. And I think that my biggest question is MCO already started, right? Can they still do something in order to make sure that, I truly believe that after this, most people will still be working from home. I believe that lah.
Yeah, I believe so too, right? But you see, if there's never too late to start anything, right? But the later you start, right? We feel the more behind you'll be, right? Just like, if everyone is under a lockdown, right? The later you start things, right? The later you'll come back into recovery, or whether recovery is a question at all.
Right. And so right now they can they get this type of services even though in an MCO? How do you set it up for them?
I just want to add something to what Alex shared just now. So, okay, digital transformation, right, or digitization is a journey, right? It's not that, okay, I've completed 100%, nothing else to do anymore. No, it's not. That's why it's never too late to start. It's a journey that basically never ends. It only ends when your business ends.
Like hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Like Cocky got your six-pack, right? He got a six-pack. But he still needs to go to the gym. It doesn't stop there, eh? So that's exactly what digital.
That's a good example. I think it's an ongoing process because digital in some ways keep changing and keep being upgraded, right? And so if you're gonna keep ahead, but for me, I think it's more like staying ahead of the game now, right? Because if we are not really moving ahead, and the trend, this new century, especially now with the pandemic, it forces everyone to be able to deliver our services digitally, right? And I'm so glad that I've done this for a couple of years already. Of course, I could have done it better with the back end a bit more polished now that you have mentioned it, but nevertheless we've done something, and that something has allowed us to not just survive but thrive in times like this. And so for those of you who are not yet moving your practice, even if you are a one-man show or even if you are just a solopreneur, it would be a good idea to actually think about this before moving forward. If you want to survive this treacherous or challenging times, you need to digitize as soon as possible. So my friends from Glocomp, how do they contact you? How do they get in touch with you guys? I mean, qualified ones lah. I mean, you don't want some people just contact you and then ask you what is digitization, then you have problem really.
Oh, of course, you can visit our website,
All right.
glocomp.com.
All right.
That's the easiest way to check out some of the offerings. And if you need to speak to someone, just put your contacts at the inquiries or the info.
Yeah.
Someone
All
will
right.
text you as soon. And if you want to do something self-service,
Mhm.
my advice is, and if you really have a smartphone, I believe you do, right? Go to a website like softwareadvice.com.
Software advice. What is it?
Software, basically, it's a site where you can find the type of software that you require based on the budget you have and the business that you're doing, right?
Right.
They will advise you from as high end as Oracle, SAP, to something as entry level as Sage, and they won't indicate a price.
Right.
So
okay, that sounds interesting.
yeah, you need to go there. And sorry, my microphone is having some problem.
Yeah.
And the other website that you should go to is actually G Suite, not Glocomp Suite. It's actually Google Suite. So, and Google has a repository of like, I don't know, maybe 20,000 odd of applications. Some are free, some you need to pay.
Right.
But these are the really easy things that you can actually get yourself some additional information during this period of time. What actually suits your business, regardless
Okay.
whether you're running a one-man show or you're running an organization with 50 or 100 people.
Right. But I think people now, especially those who are in this era, they're moving on to the gig economy, and everyone's like a solopreneur in some ways, right? So, and I think it's the best time to actually move your business in such a way that it's just my opinion, that you are able to do this work from wherever you are, whenever you are, any time of the day. And I believe that if you can, in some ways, be able to have leverage, digitization probably will help you with leveraging, your efforts, and be able to do maybe 1 or 2 times the job and be able to repeat that success for a couple of times. I'm not a big IT guy, but I do know one thing, and this I think we learned as in our school days, most effective work, so we don't have to repeat our work and then get the profits returning, right? So like I did Rise recently, gets filmed, it's edited, I can resell the whole thing, so I don't have to go and do the whole event again, right? So if you guys are out there listening to this, I think it's extremely important to take that first step into incorporating digitization into your business and your world. In fact, it depends on that. Right. So, Alex and Giam, any last messages for people out there?
Well, I think actually, I think probably in like 1-2 years ago, right? People are already saying, so when you go into a digital transformation, right? Basically, you're having your data being transformed into digital form so that you can do a lot of things, right? Whether you can collaborate, you can do you can also the communications are all via digital channel, right? Your data are all digitized and so on, right? So we already said that data is the new oil, right? But now definitely it is a newer oil, right? Oil is already negative, right? But when oil price was still $70 $100 a barrel, right? We already say that the future is data. Data is the new oil, right? And yeah, that is where all the valuable informations that we have, right? If we don't process it, we don't make good sense out of it, right? We're actually wasting whatever that we are collecting, right? Just talk about a good example about IoT, right? Internet of Things, right? What are we doing here is that we are collecting information, right? And then we're gonna do analytics on it to make sense out of it, how to be more efficient, how to be more optimized, right? When we move, into time after time.
Okay, so data is the new currency that people use right now. So I think that is very interesting. In our world, it's we use the word content. Content is what drives attention, and attention generally for us is very important in the digital. I mean, I don't call myself a digital expert, but what we need is content creates attention. And so I
Right.
think in some ways it means for your case, it's like data is the new currency. And if you control data, you control destiny, right? And eventually, if you want to do business, I think if you don't know how to do this, the new era, you'll be very lost. I think that's the message here you're saying, right?
Yeah. So
Right.
yeah. Also, on top of that, right, securing your digital assets, right, it is equally, if not more important than creating one. You see?
Yeah, it's
So
cool.
why are there, cyber criminals, out there, who does so much, who give us so much cyber security issues and problems, right? Because all these are very valuable information, and in time to come, right, there will be no war that is fought physically, right? Wars will be fought over the cyber realm, and that is very true, and it's coming.
So there are ways to protect this stuff, right? I don't know if they want to hack me and get my compass for some reason. I don't know, but maybe that's important for them.
Because you tell them
I'm
which
not a-
bedroom to sleep tonight.
I'm not a good target for them, but I think if they hack the banks, and I think between me and the bank, they probably go after the bank. So there are people who are where information is so important that they need to obviously protect it. I think customer accounts is where they need protection now. Don't you think so?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Credit card details and all that.
Yeah.
Right. There's this question. I don't know if you guys can answer. It's some Win Sian here. We are in the business process outsourcing sector, providing manpower, supply, legal and finance service to local and global clients. And how can we switch this crisis into opportunities by using digital marketing or digital transformation? What do you think?
This is a very big topic.
Mhm.
Glocomp embarked into a digital marketing business probably about 5-6 years ago.
Mhm.
And we have been really monitoring the take up and also how this business is actually growing in the country.
Mm.
It's a tremendous opportunity out there, right?
Mhm.
Tremendous opportunity out there. That's how people like Google survive. Just for example.
Mhm.
So if you're doing business process outsourcing and depending on which particular process that you're actually carrying out for your customer, and
Right.
with that
I think
you can
they
actually
want to be able to pass. I don't know. I think are they trying to get more customers or what? I think in this case, if they mention the word marketing, is generally trying to get more leads or marketing to potential customers. Is that what they are looking for?
so if you see if you want to do a promotion, you need to have a target audience, right? If your target audience are set A, then you need to get to a platform where there are a lot of set A audience, and then you target them with your promotions and your services that you can actually offer better than other people. So if your target audience is set B, and you of course you need to go to a platform where they have more set B viewers or set B audience. But most importantly in digital marketing is that uh, never do a general marketing.
Mhm.
As in, oh, okay, I just want everybody to see this brand, right? Because
Mm.
it's not that it's not going to work, but it's just too costly.
Mm.
It always sounds very cheap, like, oh, 5 cents per person per viewer, or even 1 cent per viewer. But you know how many viewers any of these platform can actually generate, and you'll be
Right.
playing your nose, right? So
Right.
you definitely have to have a strategy that is a plan that is very targeted, and you must have a promotion that is ready, okay? And the message that you want to deliver has to be very clear, because in
Right.
the digital world, it's just not about looking at a poster. It's not
Mm.
just about looking at some beautiful girls and beautiful boys, trying to promote something. So in the digital world is when you hit someone with a message, when the person finds a message is very meaningful.
Right.
So example, when you're surfing, when you're actually checking MalaysiaAirline.com and
Right.
you want to go to London, and
Right.
somehow someone sends you a message and tells you that there's a 50% discount on the air ticket from this day to this day on another airline. So that
Right.
strikes you immediately, right? As
Right.
compared to maybe a week ago, if the same message comes across, you may not
Mm.
even look at it, right?
Mm.
So you need to have a very specific plan.
Right. I think it's a good suggestion. Right. There's another question which I thought is quite interesting from Muhammad Farouk here. It says, can you suggest some affordable security solution for individual or small businesses that run on digital platforms? What do you think? Is there such a thing?
Well, I think we should not mention any brands or any names here, right? But yeah, but generally, there are a lot of solutions that's widely available, right? So I think the most important thing is that for users, right? You must know what you need to secure first, right? And yeah, things like first of all your endpoint devices, right? Your notebooks, your mobile phones, and so on, right? These are some of the basic things that you need, and then your connectivity needs to be secure, right? So your mobile, your endpoints, your connectivity are the few basic ones that you need to do, right? And there are ample solutions out there, right, that can address these needs, right? So yeah,
Okay,
I
nice.
guess I guess importantly also, as it goes to a broader space, right? Then the solutions can be a bit complex, and most of the time, it also needs to be customized for different users, right? Because it's not like one size fits all for bigger operations and companies.
I think affordable, it depends on, for me, I don't know, Farouk here, what it means by affordable. It depends on what are the potential losses here, So if there's a potential to lose a lot, then you better make it affordable. I mean, you better come up with the funding to protect it, right? And so if you, it's basically the value that you see and the value that you're holding, right? I guess different platforms, right?
So Joey, just to add on top of this, right? You see, investment into security solution and cyber security, right? It's like buying insurance, right? Any type of insurance, right? You don't know when you're gonna use it, right? It's also but when you need to use it, right, it needs to be available, right? Just like if you put it into a warfare, right? You're protecting your turfs and so on, right? You don't know when you're gonna get attacked, right? Maybe you never use it in your lifetime, but when attack comes, right, you're gonna be ready for it.
That's absolutely true, man. So I heard that you guys outbid Huawei in a major project last year. Tell us about this.
Where do you get the question from?
I got it from a friend. I was looking at this question and I thought, wow, this is a question you must answer. Tell us.
So I believe having a clear strategy and understanding your customer, it's very, very important, right? So long you work along the line with the strategy, and everyone in the team works towards that similar strategy, and everyone understand what the customers needs. And like I say, right, the digital transformation journey, it's all about customer. So you start with the customers. You don't start with your company.
So that's how you outbid Huawei. That's interesting. Right. Okay, I'm going to ask you another question before we end our day here. It's about entrepreneurship, right? Because a few of us in our group of friends have chosen the most challenging part, which is to start our own business and to do our own thing here. I think my view is that I think it's because for me, I don't know what the hell we were doing now. So I thought this is the only thing we can do. So I don't know. Did you guys plan to actually become entrepreneurs and business owners?
Well, for me, right, I thought, years ago you told me that, you have no future working for people. You have to be an entrepreneur, right?
That is true. And so you just listen, right? And Giam just follow you. Cannot be.
But jokes aside, right? I think
Three of us
entrepreneurship, jokes aside, right? In entrepreneurship is never easy, right? It is always about not just thinking about we deliver KPIs and then our job is done. It is about creating a lot of values around, even with our team, with our people, right? As we grow, it is a push to push and a push factor where we actually motivate each other to move. But I think in entrepreneurship, first of all, the thing here is that everyone needs to work very hard, extra hard, and then we have been.
You are special because amongst all of us, you're the only head prefect, right? I promised our friends yesterday, we're gonna ask you, how the hell did you end up becoming head prefect?
Well, all this, right, has become, has become a reality, right? So yeah, but I would say in terms of what I learned.
But we cannot accept this reality. How did you get there?
Well, I think first of all, right, you gotta be, very disciplined in school, be a good student, right? Then you'll stand a very good chance, right? I think.
All of us were skipping class and you were there. All of us are delinquent in school and you were there. And how the hell did you end up becoming a head prefect?
And most importantly, right, not many stay back for Form 6, and I'm one of a few of them.
But no, people don't know about Giam. Giam has been an entrepreneur very young, because at Form 1, you don't even know this. He was my classmate, and this guy is selling me some weird name cards, and he freaking sold me his name cards, and I have to buy it from him. Whatever allowance money that I had. So he already know how to do business when he was 13. I'm telling you now. You remember or not?
Yes, of course I remember. There's something more interesting than just the name card also.
Huh? I don't know. How did you? Of course, our friend Vaishun is selling some other videotapes, but that should be another story. that was a very interesting.
I think, to me, entrepreneurship is all about belief. Right? It's not about belief. You started this business, you started this journey because you believe in something, right? You believe in something, you see the opportunity and you believe in it, and you work hard on it, and you persevere and you don't give up, and you see results.
I think see, Cockit is saying this, you made all of them work in your uncle's gin shop. So I was just talking to some younger entrepreneurs this morning in this private discussion. I was telling them, and there was a question raised about leadership, and I just said, leadership is the power to influence and the ability to influence, right? And Giam has that at 13 years old. And of course, Alex has the power to influence the whole school to vote him to become head prefect. That is the major difference.
But I think importantly, right, is that what we learn throughout the journey, right?
Yesterday, there's Zion was saying, I got the pelajar penyanya. I told him, pelajar penyanya is nothing. This will look like prefect. That is the most interesting thing I've seen in our group.
The thing about, I think, leadership and also entrepreneurship here is that, right, I guess no one can be, no one can say that I'm ready, right? So like, when any one of us took up a leadership role, right, most of us, we have not done it before, right? So we just have to do it. And then I think it takes a lot of thoughts, it takes a lot of heart, right, for us, to put into it, right, to make things happen and also be successful.
I cannot remember those days. Is how we send people out for F troop only. We're very good at that. You still remember F troop?
Yes.
If there's
no power here.
Some sort of a social distance.
At max. If the next class is at max, after recess, the whole class, we will send the class out for F troop for half an hour before we go to class. That's all I remember about being a prefect. It was a fun time those days.
So even back then, we have our own version of social distancing. F-troop, right?
F-troop is fantastic. Right? I think
so the special ones will be selected.
These guys don't know what F-troop is. Hey prefect, tell us what is F-troop?
Well, F-troop is basically, some sort of social distancing, right? When you don't behave, right? So you'll be asked to distance yourself, or the whole class gets to distance yourself from the rest of the crowd, right? By not entering class, but stay in the middle of the field.
And we deliberately do that for our friends if the next class was at Math. I remember that.
Oh, was it? I couldn't remember.
In case you guys are listening to this, you don't know that we are prefects and we have some sort of a power to basically send the whole class out to the field. It's not a punishment; it's actually saving them from a dreaded class time, right? Oh, those are the days, and those are the days. And I still remember we had all this. We have a prefects room. We had a prefects room. You remember the prefects room? What do we store in the prefects room?
Well, we have privileges to have a locker. Every one of us to have a locker each, right? And then, we put in. We just don't carry too much books with us back home, right? We put in a lot of books into our lockers.
Wait. These books a bit different, right? The one that you talk about. These books are not ordinary books, you know. No, but to be fair, I think we've confiscated from other people.
No, that is some of the books, some of the confiscated item, right, was just there for storage before we passed to the teacher, you see. There's always interval time, remember?
We need to check out what type of books we are sending here. So, yeah. I forgot to talk to Kokin about our prefectship, and he was talking about National Geographic VHS. I think for those in LaSalle, they probably know what this is. Those are the days, man. All right. Okay, I think we should have prefects only gathering or interact club gathering, and then or Liew club gathering or LaSalle gathering.
That'll be fun.
I think we're fine. And we get one of the old teachers on board. I wonder what they're thinking.
I like that bit.
I come to think of it, I think they actually know what shit we're hiding in the prefect's room. I think they just keep quiet. Probably they have the key to it. I don't know. But I think you're the best. You guys have you're the head prefect. You basically set the rule for everything.
Yeah. But remember, we don't abuse powers, right?
Definition of abuse.
School nowadays are very different, I think.
I think school is different. I remember your iPad and all that. I'm not sure. Well, man. Well, it was great talking to you guys. It's this MCO. Definitely will catch up after this, and we need to have more LaSalle gatherings, and at least. Yeah, definitely. So let's see how it goes. And of course, Yi Xiang is suggesting we have our 43rd year anniversary in Taipei. If we could,
let's hope not virtually, right? Hopefully not virtually.
Virtually, no need to go, yeah. So I think we should make a trip after this, and we have another cycling thing because apparently Giam's a very good cyclist. So okay. All right, guys.
I wear the orange pants.
Oh, the orange pants. All right, then. Thanks so much for tonight.
Okay, thank you.
And thanks for all your
Thank
sharing.
you so much for having us. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
All right. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. That was my good friends who are pioneers and masters of the digitization, and they run a company called Glocomp. Do search for them online and get more information. If you want to get the best people involved in helping bring your company into the digital platform, that's where you should be going. And if you want to watch more interviews that I'll be doing, talking to some of my friends, some of the industry leaders, go on and subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button and click on the bell icon for notification. And if you're watching this on Facebook, go ahead and click on follow and click on turning on notifications. I'll see you again. Thank you so much.